Welcome viewers across the world, more especially Biafrans that are watching from all over the world. Wherever you are watching us from, I appreciate you for joining this platform. Please like and share this video to family and friends. Share it to everyone that is close to you. You never can tell who is going to hear us. This video is very, very important. I am going to share a very important information on this video. As you all know, the call for the release of the Supreme Leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is getting louder by day. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been detained after being kidnapped from Kenya by Nigerian government. They brought him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition. He has passed through the law court and he was freed. They had no case against him, but they have refused to release him. They have kept him under solitary confinement for the past 3 years. Today, the call for his unconditional release is getting louder and louder. I want to take you back to memory lane, what happened 1 year ago. This was a program that was hosted in Channel Television. I want you to watch this program again and then reflect back on what transpired then and then what is happening today when you are hearing this call on the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to watch closely, look carefully, and you will understand what I'm trying to pass.
So you just listened to Adams Oshomale, and you know, of course, he's one of the senators within the cabinet, or 7 within the administration of President Bola Tinubu. It's quite unfortunate that the Nigerian system or the Nigerian government has absorbed and adopted every recommendation given by the World Bank and the IMF. These policies being implemented or being asked to be implemented by the Nigerian government are policies that the World Bank and the IMF cannot adopt in their own country. They even know that it's not visible or viable. They have ensured that we become import oriented from the very basic thing. Nigeria no longer exports. We are more of an import based nation. And that has made us dependable on how they decide on the value of our naira. Beyond that, Barrister Darlington, I want you to also take note that even the petrol, the crude that we supposedly export are being determined by external forces. How we sell it are being determined by those forces and how it is refined. So we're basically at the mercies of this country. Our economy and our market forces is peculiar to Nigerians alone. We already understand how the market works. How will international bodies come and explain to us how our market works and then decide to us the kind of policies to adopt? And the administration wholeheartedly, completely, wholesale in its whole form absorbs it. What's your take on what Adam Soshomale said?
Esther, it is unfortunate because when they started their policy of listening to IMF and the World Bank, we cried out. But some of their hatchet men told us that there is nothing wrong in borrowing. Even China, they know they started with US borrow, this one borrow, this other people borrow. I say, come, this explanation cannot help us. That Mr. A went to borrow does not mean that Mr. B must follow. You should look at your internal revenue and all that and see whether you are qualified to even follow him. But unfortunately, APC went ahead borrowing just like Buhari throughout his 8-year tenure. This man was borrowing money as if Nigeria is not producing anything or Nigeria is not earning any money. And today, look at where we are. Oshomole that is speaking, is he not part of the problem? Remember when this man told you that anybody that joined their party with all his sins, there is forgiven? Was he not promoting corruption? He was promoting corruption. So why is he talking now? That is one of the reasons why I don't listen to these people whenever they are talking.
Oh, well,
they speak from both sides of their mouth.
Oh, well, the thing is that the fact that persons within the president's cabinet are speaking now. Before they were hush, but now they're now more outspoken. Ali Ndume just called this administration a kleptocratic one. According to him, he says that the administration literally does not know what to do. He actually gave quite an insightful expression on what he considers about this administration. He said President Bola Tinubu is a very close ally of his, but it's quite unfortunate that no one is telling the president the true reality of the volatile situation when it comes to the multi-dimensional poverty and hunger bedeviling the Nigerian nation. But is that enough to actually give any form of explanation as to this government not understanding what it wants to do and modifying itself with the current realities on ground?
Look, whenever people, Tinubu is not. I'm not a fan of Tinubu.
It's obvious.
So when they're blaming him now, I was asking myself, these people that are talking to Tinubu now, where were they when Buhari led a very wicked and crooked foundation on which Tinubu came to consolidate according to him? All the people that are talking, did they talk to Buhari like this? I didn't hear Ndume speak to Buhari in spite of all he did in office for 8 years in office. So why are they talking to Tinubu now? As if Tinubu, just came into office and all these things started happening.
There are
all
allegations that the Northerners are cooking to ensure that President Bola Tinubu does not continue in 2027. And one of the first things they're trying to do now is to ensure that his administration is infamous. And they're also causing, you call it political rift on social media, deliberately ensuring that there is instability. Security is also of immense concern, so that a lot of Nigerians will not show him that support ahead of 2027. Do you think that's true?
That is what the North is planning to do. They are already on it.
But beyond the North, what is currently at play now? Everyone is feeling the effect of the economic policies being implemented by this government. Right now, the government said they're going to give fertilizers to about 2 trucks of fertilizers to almost all the 36 state governors to help complement the farmers so that there can be food. We don't know how long this will last. But the thing is, these are trial and error methods being implemented by this government. Do you think it's too late, or Nigerians should give the president time for some of these policies to mature?
It will not yield any fruit, because the policies are not well thought out. He just woke up. Maybe somebody will sell one idea to him. Without thinking about it, he will fly into it. And then by the time he gets to the middle of the road, he say, let's look at it again. Meanwhile, people are already buying into it, thinking that there is something there. All the policies he has brought, which one of them have seen the light of day? I mean, that he has seen to the end. None of them.
Okay.
None of them. So that will tell you that the man is confused.
Barrister Darlington, amidst the call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, there is a supposed source, not revealing his name, that his dates for his release will be revealed soon. There have been outcries to the president from every non-governmental organization, Southeasterners, to call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But beyond that, though, as that is considered as one of the factors, Omoyele Sowore is actually activating a protest, which is to start off August 5. Now, here is it. This is what he tweeted. He says, the hashtag Revolution Now movement remains undaunted. We started on August 5, 2019. Return to the barricades now. The time is now. August 5, 2024. All the forces in the world are not so powerful as an idea whose time has come. He quoted Victor Hugo. But a lot of people are saying, Omoyele Sowore, we're not going to join you. Where are you? Are you in the country to follow us in this protest? Some Igbos are saying we're not going to be part of this, because whenever anything happens like this, those that arrest are the Igbos. Those that call for whatever happened in the protest are the Igbos. A couple of people are saying they don't think they'll be part of it because the hunger has not gotten into them yet. Otherwise, they may not have elected the president in the first place. What's your take on this? Do you think Omoyele Sowore is taking advantage of the situation for himself? Secondly, he's not in the country. Would he be part of the protest movement in August? And do you think Nigerians will participate this time in respect to what transpired in Kenya?
I don't think so. That Omoyele Sowore is calling for whatever he's calling does not mean that we should follow him willy-nilly. If he wants to do, why don't he come here? He should come here and then be at the forefront. Just like some people said, do you mean this thing he's trying to do now, won't it truncate the release of Nnamdi Kanu?
Well, he's saying that is it also in respect for that, the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the agitation for the alleviation of poverty, the hunger in the land, the stringent economic policies, also what you call the NLC asking for an increase in their salaries. All of these recommendations are what the protest is all about. But a couple of people feel that it is politically motivated.
Of course. Let us separate the wheat from the chaff. If they are talking of economic hardship and all that, how does that concern Nnamdi Kanu's release? Let them specify what they want. Let them release Nnamdi Kanu first, because if the protests go on, I don't see how the federal government will release Nnamdi Kanu in the midst of the protests or whatever will come out of it. So let them not jeopardize the effort being made so far to release Nnamdi Kanu. They should not include his name there. After all these years that he was there, did anybody protest on his behalf? Why do they want to use him now and say it wasn't Nnamdi? Because by the time this thing begin to operate now, they will not even remember that Nnamdi Kanu did not have a hand. They will say Nnamdi Kanu called for it. That it wasn't Nnamdi Kanu. He's the one that promoted this protest. He's the one that sponsored it from where he was detained. They will twist it, and then the federal government, without even thinking, so you can see, with all the propaganda that people are already doing.
You don't think this supposed proposed protest that is being slated for August 5 will work? Because with what transpired in Kenya, a lot of possible events played out, right, to the advantage of the people. For example, the entire cabinet of William Ruto was dissolved. A couple of his ministers were sacked. Some of the policies had actually been benched. So it means that the protest was quite effective. In Kenya, the protesters are asking for the immediate resignation of William Ruto, despite him, obligating himself to some of the demands made by the protesters. And it is in respect of this that Nigerians are saying, okay, it's time for us to call for our own protest. But with what transpired in October 2020 with the NSAS protest, where a couple of ethnic and politically divisive sentiments manipulated the whole deal and truncated the effect of the protest, do you think that this particular protest being planned for in August will be authenticated? Do you think it will be carried on with?
It may not, because of the way Nigeria is divided along ethnic and religious line.
But the hunger in the land now is affecting everybody, and everyone is complaining regardless of whatever political party they support. Everybody is now crying on the same note. You don't think at all that this collective measure may be applied and the protest will take place?
No, we have not suffered enough.
What do you mean by that, Barrister Darlington?
I said we have not suffered enough.
What other suffering do you want us to suffer before we begin to agitate?
We are doing press up, because if we have done it. We would have done it before Kenya. This thing you are talking, we would have done it before Kenya.
But you do know that the president is just 1 year and maybe a few months. Do you think Nigerians were waiting to see, possibly let him adjust and sit well? That it's possible that it's just because he came in and that's why they decided to be patient.
No, we would have done it under Buhari.
They did it under Buhari's time. Have you forgotten the NSAS?
NSAS was just for political brutality, not police brutality.
It started in Delta. It was a situation in Delta that called for it.
It was police brutality, not against Buhari's regime. That's what I'm telling you. You saw when people were jumping inside Lagoon because of hardship and all that.
It's happening now. At Ikorodu, a Kekena Pep driver hung himself in front of the LASMA office. Apparently, he begged them and they refused to release his Kekena Pep, and then he committed suicide. That is what in many other occasions. We saw another one in Port Harcourt of a woman who jumped from the bridge and she said the suffering is too much. And things like this will continue, which refers me to what Rotimi Amechi said, that Nigerians will continue to commit suicide until they're ready to take the government by themselves. But do you think that is the right word to call in, considering what Nigerians are going through now?
No, because if you are looking at it from that angle, somebody may be the fall guy here. If you are going to lead the process now, on what ground are you going to do that? Because Tinubu will tell you that the suffering has started before he came into office.
Exactly.
And there are sufferings all over the world that some countries are even worse than Nigeria. So they will find all manner of excuses. But when it was mass action, you don't even know the leader. You don't know who is the champion. You just see people coming out in the streets saying, no, we know. You now know that, yes, we have gotten to that place. But to say that somebody will come and lead somebody now, no, nobody will do that too. Nobody. Because immediately you try that, they will come with their own counter protest. All the Agboros will be released. All the thoughts will be released against the protesters. And you will see a lot of things going on. And they will now look for some scapegoats who may be the Igbos. We don't want that again. So when they are ready, all of us will do it at the same time. That's what I'm saying. So we have not suffered enough. We have not.
Barrister Darlington, I would have loved to ask you more questions, but we'll run out of time. We have another program coming up next. Thank you so much for being here, for waiting till now to be part of the World News at 12. I sincerely do appreciate your intellectual input on the conversation this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right. And before we go, here again are the top stories. Biden mistakenly calls Kamala Harris Vice President Trump amid mental fitness concerns. President Tinubu removes Buhari's in-law, other officials of Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company. Ali Indume discloses Tinubu caged inside President.
My fellow Biafrans, after watching this clip, I want you to be the judge for yourself. Go to the comment section and write on the comment section, tell me what you feel about this interview that was granted. I thank God for the Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. Biafran people are going to defend themselves. If it's going to take everyone out to defend Biafra, we will do that till the last man standing. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Prime Minister, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike continue to guide our Liberation Army. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity, and equity. We move airborne. Thank you and stay safe.